Checking in on our forecast here on the Central Coast, we've got some pretty great weather right now. It's been a very warm day, though, in those interiors in the triple digits by our coast, a little bit on the cooler side. But looking outside right now at 805 webcams, looking at Morro Bay out there, it is a beautiful evening. Nice and clear right now. That marine layer is sitting just a little ways off our shores. You can see kind of a hazy sky, though. That's the smoke in the upper atmosphere from the Gifford fire. And also you can see this little cloud trying to make its way over the rock. And actually what's going on there is you got these winds coming onshore. They hit that rock and they're moving up in the atmosphere. That's what's causing those little bits of cloud cover that sometimes cap up the rock. Now, we're going to be seeing a lot more cloud cover before you know it in our coastal regions. It means more of that marine energy will be here by later on tonight, cooling us down, bringing some cloud cover. It will be a very big difference from what we saw earlier on today when we climbed up towards 104 in Paso Robles for that daytime high, 72 in Santa Barbara, 82 in San Ynez, 73 in San Luis Obispo, just 69 degrees in Santa Maria. But in those interiors, got another hot day ahead. That's going to be a little bit more tricky conditions for those firefighting the Gifford fire. Right now, 78 degrees out there at that fire site. Still 96 up in Paso Robles, but starting to see that cool down, especially along those beaches where cooler, dense marine air is already on the way. You can see those relative humidities starting to climb, and critically, you can see just how dry it is in those interiors, continuing to see less than 20% humidity for much of those interiors, and that most eastern flank of the fire is drawing in that very dry air. It's drawing it in because we still have significant winds, so we're going to be continuing to keep a close eye on that. Right now, about 16 miles an hour there. The actual wind concern right now is actually along our south coast, where we do have a sundowner wind event that'll get even more intense in the next couple of hours. We're talking those wind gusts up to 45, even 50 miles an hour near Las Cruces. So if you're driving any of those high-profile vehicles right along our south coast, just something to be aware of. Tomorrow, more gusts are expected, continuing to see that through the daytime hours. We're going to be seeing lots more windy conditions Tuesday into Wednesday as well. That is enough that it has prompted a wind advisory for our south coast. That's in place through 3 a.m. Pretty typical sundowner wind conditions, but we also have a heat advisory in place through 9 p.m. tomorrow. And that's part of a much larger heat concern throughout much of the west coast. That's going to be the case for tomorrow. 103 up in Paso Robles, 85 in San Luis Obispo, 75 in Santa Maria, 72 in Lompoc, and 81 degrees in Santa Barbara for your Tuesday. 94 up in Atascadero, 107 in San Miguel, 80 in Avila Beach for our 5 cities communities. Still quite warm. Pismo Beach at 73, 101 in California Valley, and along our south coast nearly in the 90s in the San Ynez Valley and in Solvang, 83 in Los Alamos. The good news is we have a cool down on the way, dropping into the low 90s and some 80s in Paso Robles by Saturday. Low 70s staying in San Luis Obispo, Santa Maria, and Santa Barbara all the way through the extended forecast, with some relief on those firefighting conditions.